to the 4th episode of Generation LU, a podcast about everything basketball. I am Curtis, and this is my co-host, Jake.
Hey now.
So now it's time for the Player of the Week kind of thing. Now we have today, of course, we always want to do surprising players who are not like we could do Shea every single week because he's always doing that. But this year we're gonna pick an up and coming, I'd say star, Keyonte George of the Utah Jazz.
Okay, Keyonte George. All right, tell me about it. Why is he the player of the week?
Purely in the last few weeks, he has been averaging in the month of December. He's been averaging like 30 a game, and he's shooting much better than everyone thought. He had a really good rookie season, then a not amazing, by that I mean like horrendous second season.
Yeah, well, part of it was just, he did okay for like a 16th pick. He was pretty inefficient, but he scored a lot. He got a lot of playing time, so people were excited for him. And then he kind of did the same exact thing the second year, right?
Yeah, just he shot the exact same percentage from the field, just on more points, meaning more shots.
Yep. And then I kind of sort of given up hope a little bit on him, I'll admit it, but he's really kind of changed his game a lot this year, don't you think?
Yeah. And in the last, he's of course had a really good season throughout the whole season. But in the last little bit, he's been absolutely cooking. He's had multiple 30-point games. He had a career high, I think it was 38.
39. So it's funny. I think I saw he had his career high going into, 2 weeks ago was 35. His career high through 2.5 years. And then he had 39, 37, 34 in a 3-game span like last week. So 3 of his 4 high-scoring games of his career came in a row. So what do you think he's doing differently? Like not just this week, but even this season.
Yeah, he's becoming much of a better passer, and he's not taking the dumb, inefficient shots that you see a shot and you pull up from deep on 3. He is way more aggressive, drawing more fouls. Before it would be like, he made his threes. If he's having a good shooting night, he's just feeling it out from 3, and he's going to have a lot of points. Now it's, even if his shot isn't falling, as we've seen before, he can be really aggressive, get inside, and draw fouls. And even if he's like 0-5 from 3, like he started the season, he can still get a lot of points from driving from the free throw line, shooting like 92% from the free throw line, which is top 10 in the NBA.
Yeah, that's what was cool. It's like he wasn't even shooting the ball well at all. You knew it would come. He's a decent 3-point shooter. At the start of the year, he wasn't shooting the ball well at all, but he was still pretty efficient in scoring well because he got to the line a ton and he got to the basket a lot. He used to take a lot of floaters. Now they're turning into layups. He's using his quickness to get to the basket and just making smarter reads altogether. And now he's starting to shoot the 3 well, which we knew would come. I don't know how sustainable it is, but I'm just looking now like in October, he shot 25% from 3. November, he shot 35% from 3. Now December, 43% from 3, averaging 26.5 points a game in December. So, the average of all that, he's about 36%, which is a little bit above his career average, but kind of what you'd maybe expect. But his true shooting now is over 60%.
Which is really good. He shot like 15% last
year. Yeah, he was well below average true shooting last year. And a lot of it is a function of just getting to the line and getting to the basket. His shot diet is actually not as different as I thought it would be in terms of he's still taking a lot of long twos, but he's just shooting a better percentage across the board, in particular around the basket. He's shooting 76% at the rim compared to 62% last year. So that's just making a huge difference. He's even got more dunks already this year than he did either of his first 2 years.
And I've seen a lot of posts.
Yeah, so he's just taking that extra step and not doing these tough floaters, and he's just getting right to the basket. And it's cool. He's doing it in games with Markkanen and without Markkanen. So some people are like, oh, Markkanen's getting all the attention, leaving him open.
And then in the games he was absent, the games he has his fake groin injury, he's still playing like he can.
Yeah, so it's exciting. And he's only 22, I think, still. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll keep it up and keep getting better and better, because if he does, he could really be like a foundational piece for them, starting point guard in the future, maybe.
Yeah, something that was bad is last season he lost his starting point guard role to a 28th draft pick rookie.
Yep, Collier.
Isaiah Collier. And now, even Collier was hurt to start the season. He came in, did really good. Then Collier was back. They're like, no, you're not starting. And I think him and Collier play really well together, not on the defensive end. At the 2 guard position, he is like the worst defender. But his defense as the one guarding other ones is not as horrible as it was. It's just 2 defenses horrible because him and Collier are usually ones, or him and Clayton.
I mean, that's offensively he's there, right? Defensively, his on and off is still pretty bad. To your point, a lot of that is when he's playing the shooting guard. He's just probably a little small, but his whole mentality seems different. He's taking it more serious, and so I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to add?
Not really. He's been showing something. I know his numbers look like all-star, but the West is the West. There's like 7,000 different guys who are like, they deserve to beat all-star, and it's so bad. But I think he's really stepped it up, and he has some real promise after a really very disappointing second season.
Yep, agreed.
Welcome to the main portion of our podcast. Now, it's Christmas time, and I thought for Christmas we should do something extra special.
Mm-hmm.
By the time filming this, Christmas was yesterday for us, and for our Christmas episode, we're going to rank the top 20 players in the NBA. Now, the way we'll do this is we both made a list of the top 20, and we'll start at 20 go to 1, and we'll each say our one player. For example, I'll say number 20, and then you say number 20, and we'll argue, see if it's the same, if any difference, and then we'll just do that.
Okay, well, people love a good argument, so I'm excited. I do a deep dive in all the numbers. I will admit it's tough to rank some of these guys, especially when you get near the back end of 20. But why don't we start? So you want to start at 1 or you want to start at 20? You want to start at 20?
20.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right, why don't you go first, and then I'll chime in.
My number 20 is Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
He's been playing insane. The reason I have him here is for 2 reasons. One, the reason I have him at number 20 is because he's been playing really, really good. The reason I don't have him higher is because I don't know if it'll last. He's playing at like a top 15 level.
I mean, he's putting up. He's almost averaging a triple-double, right?
And at like 25 a game. Like some people average 10, 10, 10. He's like doing.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want me to tell you where I ranked him?
No, just like what your number 20 is.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 20. Well, I do have Jalen Johnson in my top 20, so we'll get to that. My number 20 is Jalen Williams. Okay. I had trouble ranking him, honestly. He hasn't played much this year, and even like his advanced stats aren't as kind of high as I would have expected. His usage is a little lower than some of these other guys. His efficiency, his true shooting, stuff like that. But he's such an important piece.
Yeah, I give some people who are on the second option on a really good team. I think of him as second option on that team.
I mean, I honestly was a little bit
more credit.
I was honestly a little bit uncertain about who the second best player in that team is. Is it him or Chet? Ultimately, I decided it to be him. But and to your point, OKC is just so dominant, and he was so good in the playoffs. The point of this whole thing is to win a championship. And so he earned a top 20 spot. I would have had him higher, frankly, if it wasn't for his injuries this year and some of his struggles since he came back. But so J-Dub is my top 20, or my number 20. You want to do 19?
For me, I have Alperen Sengun. It seems a little bit low for him, but he's taken in the role of not the best player on the Rockets, definitely. His advanced stats are not that good. Actually, he's pretty inefficient, and he's just like looking at those stats. It's very surprising that he's not like the greatest at that. Because I thought like Baby Jokic, I know you get the passing, but he's not as like at all efficient as
You're right. So, I mean, he's averaging 23, 9, and 7. You're right. He's not particularly efficient. He's below average true shooting. He does have a big role, and he's surprisingly good defensively on that team, given how he doesn't look like he'd be that mobile. So I do have him in my top 20. I have him a little bit higher than you, but by and large, in the same kind of area.
Do you have 19?
So 19 was one that I really struggled with. I ultimately ended up with LeBron 19. Honestly, almost left him off my top 20. The challenge with him, he seems like he's taking a step back this year. Just obviously,
but his assists and rebounds and all-around play is really good. He's come back from injury. He seems like not the. I'd say he's the third option on that team now, but he's still taken as the floor general. Him and Luka are the passers on this team. His assists are really good. His double-digit streak ended.
Yep.
But the reason is watching the clip. He could have just chalked it up and gone for the double digit. He put a pinpoint pass to the open man. They won the game, and he said that's what's important. I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's the ultimate winner, right? And I think I'm giving a lot of credence to the numbers he put up last year, and I think he's still kind of easing back into form. I mean, last year he averaged 24, 8, and 8 on 60% true shooting. I'm going to give that a lot of credit. I'm still putting him in my top 20 until I really see that he's fallen off a cliff. So he's my number 19.
Yeah, and for my number 18, it's LeBron James.
Oh, there we go. Right.
Very similar, like what you're saying. I just think he's a little bit more efficient.
Okay.
And, well, if he's not right at the moment, I think he will be.
Mm-hmm.
And starting off slow, he's had multiple 20-point games. He started off a little bit slow, coming back having like 10, 10, and then that 8-point game.
When Luka was out sorry to interrupt, but when Luka and Reeves were out for a couple games, he has that capability. He scored 36 in the game, scored 30 plus in another game.
Looking like prime LeBron in those games, like
triple. Awesome. Yeah. All right, so my number 18 is maybe the hardest guy for me to rank in the whole thing, and that's Kawhi. I put at number 18. I mean, he's still putting up. I mean, he's scored 26 a game this year. He's reasonably healthy. 61% true shooting, really high usage. When he wants to be, he still can be a defensive stopper. To me, the biggest hang up is the Clippers suck.
Yeah.
How good can he be? He's healthy, and the Clippers are losing, and Harden's healthy as well. Ultimately, I put him number 18, and I left Harden out of my top 20, just because I think he has more of a defensive impact, and frankly, just is more efficient player when he's playing. But this could very well change if the Clippers don't turn it around. But I'm giving them some credit. Some of these old guys, I'm continuing to give them credit for some of their recent or past success.
And what I'm going to say is my number 17 is James Harden.
So it's Kawhi now?
Off my list.
All right, I can see
I
that.
think that the way James Harden is playing looks like 2020-ish James Harden, like younger James Harden. He's looking really good offensively, obviously. The defense not good at all.
I go back to the same with Kawhi. Why are they so bad? I know they don't have a great supporting cast, but they supposedly have two guys who are around top 20 guys, and Zubac, who was healthy till recently. Why are they losing every game?
Yeah, my thing is one of them deserves to be top 20 in my opinion, unless they continue this to go on, unless they're like a bottom team. But
I agree that if they are like this at the end of the year,
none of them are top 20. I just think you gotta go one way, and I just said it.
Remember, we're not that different. So you had him 17?
Yeah.
All right. So my 17 is a guy you mentioned. I think you had him 20th is Jalen Johnson.
Yes.
Again, I'm kind of like you. I want to see it for a little bit longer. But honestly, I mean, if you're looking at strictly his stats this year, 24, 10 and a half, and 8 on 62% true shooting. He's got some of the other advanced stats, win shares, things like that. He should be, kind of knocking on the door of the top 10. The only reason I'm keeping him even 17 is just I want to see it a little bit longer. But he's been super impressive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think that's not really a debate that he's top 20. Okay. The people who say that are casuals but people who don't watch Hawks basketball. He's obviously top 20. I just think I put him number 20 because I need to see more of it.
Yeah, people talk about Austin Reeves, Denny Avdija as the most improved. I mean, Jalen Johnson's got to get some consideration as well. Nobody would have considered him a top 20 player before this year. All right, so who do you have 16?
Denny Avdija.
Oh, there you go. I left him out of my top 20. Tell me about Denny Avdija. Why you have him?
His stats are really good. His looking at all around play, he's really aggressive, and I think another thing is he's a little bit more well rounded, and I think all around good 3-point shooter. Great 3-point shooter, really good aggressive. His free throw numbers are ridiculous, and he's shooting good from them. I think he feels to me as more like a candidate who can continue this more than Jalen Johnson because of his team, and I just think he seems like a consistent guy. He doesn't really have 10-point games, and his team hasn't been insanely injured. So I think he's shown more.
Yeah, he's a guy. His stats are great. He's a guy I would consider more in like the 25-ish range, just because kind of like with the Lowry Markkanen sort of thing, he's putting up these crazy stats on teams that aren't really particularly competitive. They're not horrible, but they're not
building. They're not good, but around their roster, it looks like a good team. And I think, like if a Lowry Markkanen, the team is not compact and shouldn't be good. So I think their team is a little bit
right. But then why aren't they? I mean, they're not. I mean, I'm just saying he's never really proven it in a winning situation. So I'm not saying he can't, but I want to see it. He's a super incredible offensive player. I saw a stat that he has the most drives per game of anyone in the NBA by a pretty good margin. So he's just super aggressive, gets to the line a lot, super efficient. I just had him a little bit lower, but that was what, your 16?
Mm-hmm.
So 16 is a guy for me who you already mentioned a little bit lower, and that's Alfred Şengün. Like you said, not as efficient as some of these other guys, but just does so much on a team that
a winning team. He shows more to win.
A winning team and a team that up until recently, I think the Nuggets passed him, had the best offense in the NBA. So despite he's maybe a little bit below average efficiency, he's generating efficient offense. So we've already talked about him. So I want to move on to your number 15.
My number 15 is Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Looking at his stats, I did not think of him as even any close to top 20.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at his stats, they're really good, really solid, fit really well for this Warriors team that has not been that amazing, but they're still, right now, I think they're in like the 7 or 8 seed in the play, and they're just above 500 right now. They're 16 and 15. Yep. He fits really well, and I feel like he could go to any team and help them. I think he's a really good role player and he's really old and surprising. I didn't know he was like that good at that age.
Yeah, I have him even higher, and I will say going into this exercise, I didn't expect him. I expected him maybe to be on the fringes of the top 20. We all have to recognize that he's not super durable. This year he's been pretty healthy.
Oh yeah, really.
But I would be surprised if he starts missing games. Right? He's not durable. He's 35, I think. But he has an amazing postseason track record. And this year he is just putting up. He is just, for a guy who's not known as a shooter. A lot of it's getting to the line, and he doesn't take as many threes, but he makes them. He's super efficient. Listen to this. He's averaging 20 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Really well-rounded game.
Yeah, 65% true shooting, one of the highest of all of these guys that we're kind of considering. Much lower usage. Granted, I think it's the lowest usage of any of the guys in my top 20 in terms of his scoring usage. But he's handling the ball a lot. Steph's missed time, and he's picked up the slack. Obviously, he's solid defensively, and obviously he's just a crazy competitor who rises to the occasion in the postseason. So we'll get to him when I get there, but I have him even higher than you. So
who do you have number 15?
So number 15 is another guy who rose a lot for me this year, and I wouldn't have considered him until this, but I have Jamal Murray. You might not have him even in your top 20. And he's never even made an All-Star team.
He's going to make it this year.
He's going to make it this year. So he scored 25 points a game, 7 assists, 4.5 rebounds, shoot on 64% true shooting.
I know.
He's shooting almost 50% from 3 this year on high volume. He's deadly accurate. I mean, the biggest thing that's limited him in the past is health.
He's been really healthy.
He's been really healthy this year. So again, acknowledging, like with Butler, he could get injured anytime. He's a risk. But numbers he's putting up right now, to me, rival any of the other guys in this group. So it felt high when I did it, but I couldn't rationalize why to push him any lower.
I just feel that's the Jokic effect.
You think Jokic is giving him all this? I mean, you're right. He has the best teammate in the league.
Yeah, by far. Like, you have a teammate who is like the best passer, or at least the best highlight reel passer, especially with Halliburton injured. And you're on his team. He's also a really good role player to help you get those assists because you passed him in the paint, shoot him like we said before, like 80%.
Yeah, and I acknowledge the attention Jokic gets probably gives Murray really good open 3-point looks, given that everyone's both focused on Jokic. But still shooting 48% from 3, that's not easy. So anyway, he's my number 15. So who do you have 14? I guess that's probably our biggest disagreement right now, that I have him 15 and you don't even have him.
Yeah. My number 14, you've already said this person.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they've had a little bit of slow start. I have J-Dub.
Okay, that's pretty high.
I think he's had a slow start. He's been injured. And I just give extra credit for the second best player, that's in my opinion, on the second best team in the NBA. And with
second best team.
The best team. Sorry, I was saying a lot of seconds. Yep. The best team in the NBA by far.
Yep.
And they've lost a few times, but by far he's like very consistent when he's come back. And I feel his shooting will and his points. He'll get back. He's only played like 10 games, not even. And he's playing really good basketball. He just needs to, step it up, and I think he will.
Yeah, I acknowledge that. I mean, I will say he's got the lowest true shooting percentage, even last year, lower than almost everyone on my top 20. There's only 2 exceptions, and they're pretty close. And a lower usage than a lot of these guys. So But again, he's done it at the highest levels. Prior to this year, I think I would have had him a little bit higher, but so I don't think that's crazy. So he's your 14?
Yeah, who do you have 14?
14, I have Jaylen Brown. He's a guy who, without Tatum this year, has had obviously a much bigger role. People kind of wrote off the Celtics, and they're in the mix for
they
a top 3 seed.
So slow, and people were like, "Are they tanking or what? They could lose more games. Celtics should not be an 8 seed." But they picked it up. I don't know what seed they are, but it's pretty good. And
so he scored 29 points a game this year on pretty good efficiency. Obviously, he's really good defensively, or can be. He's doing it without Tatum. He was the Finals MVP. He was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
I'm not saying he's the best player on the team, but he's the best.
He's proven he can do it in the playoffs. And he plays a valuable position. I think he's kind of just he's overshadowed by Tatum. And now without him there is giving him the opportunity to kind of shine a little bit more. And so I have him 14, which maybe is a little bit higher than a lot of people might have.
Oh, I can tell you.
So do you have him on your top 20?
Oh, definitely.
You have him higher than me?
He's much higher. Much
higher. Okay.
I think the way that if you have like Jordan Walsh starting at 3, your team is
Namias Keita, and
your
your 5.
Heda, whatever his name is. You don't have the greatest. Derek White's not shooting under 40% from the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's doing it.
He's really bringing this team up, and I think that deserves a round of applause from all the fans. So he's higher on my list.
Okay, so who do you have 13?
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey. Okay, I have him. I'll tell you after, but go ahead. What do you like about Maxey?
Embiid is never going to be healthy. He's stepped it up. He's had crazy scoring outputs. He's sharing the rock. He seems to be a perfect guard in the league right now. He's also another player I think could fit on a lot of teams. The way he's shooting and being really aggressive is really nice. And he's a really shifty, good guard.
Yeah. I'll mention his name soon. I have him a little bit higher than you even. He's a guy who's higher than I would have expected going into this.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd be top 20.
Yeah, but he's third in scoring with 31 points a game, 7 assists, 4.5 rebounds.
It's ridiculous.
60% true shooting. And he's on a team that, like you said, Embiid's unreliable in and out. Paul George is a shadow of himself. And otherwise, it's, edge rookies are playing or young guys, McCain, and they're doing well. And he's just super high usage. Let me look. He is one of the highest usages in the league, other than obviously like the top guys. He's 30% usage. So, there are guys higher, but he plays.
And he's shooting good. He's not has the highest usage and then shooting really bad because he has the highest usage.
He's really durable. He's playing the most minutes of anyone in the league. I think he's playing over 40 minutes a game, I want to say off the top of my head.
And he's still playing good. He doesn't seem to show any signs of fatigue when he's playing.
So I hear you. So he's your number 13?
Yep.
All right. So my number 13 is a guy you just mentioned a few minutes ago, is Jimmy Butler. Another guy who I wasn't expecting to be this high until I kind of dug into the numbers. But as long as he keeps this up and stays healthy, he's a force. Now I know Golden State's not doing super well. Steph's been in and out of the lineup. They've had some challenges with some of their supporting cast, but his stats are incredible. So he's my number 13. So who's your number 12?
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Okay.
I think some people both overrate him and underrate him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really good on this really good Rockets team. He fits really well with them. At an old age, I thought he'd take a seat down. He has taken a little bit. He's not top 8 like he was kind of last year, but he hasn't got that much worse at his age at 37.
Yep.
He's playing really good. He's doing what you want Kevin Durant to do. I think he fits perfectly at 12.
He really does. I have him almost the same as you, so we're agreeing on a lot of these. He's averaging 25, 5, and 4 on his usual 64% true shooting.
He's really good.
Really good. He's perfect for this team where they need that spacing and that shooting. He's a little bit more of a complementary role than he used to be. His scoring usage is down quite a bit, but still just devastating shooting.
Yeah, with his usage down, he's still averaging ridiculous stats on the point side, meaning that he doesn't need the ball as much and shoot as much to score his points, meaning he fits perfectly on this Rocket team that needs one more start to really show themselves in their playoffs against some of the better teams.
So he's your number 12?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My number 12 is a guy we just talked about, Tyrese Maxey. Mm-hmm. So we're pretty close in a lot of these now, off within 1 or 2. So who's your number 11?
I have Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. All right, so I had him 14. So
I've already talked about how much Jaylen Brown is dominating the league. His stats are really good, but the way he's led this team as like the role of this leader is huge. He's made this team where kind of a team was misfits even without Tatum into like really, really good like competitor range.
You might be right now that I'm looking. I mean, his usage, the only guys with higher scoring usage than him in the league are Luka and Giannis. So he has just a huge burden. His efficiency is not quite as high as some of these other guys, but he has such a big burden. So maybe you'll be convincing me. Because my 11 is KD, who you mentioned.
Yeah, so
again, we're very similar. You have Brown a little bit higher than I do, but by and large, the same. So now we're going to get into the top 10. Looking at this, I think we might have the same top 10 because I don't think.
Why don't you go first in the top 10? Because I went first on the top 10.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, my number 10 is Cade.
Same.
All right. Yeah. So he's an interesting guy. You know, obviously Detroit's the best team in the East. He's the leader of that team. He's averaging 26, 9 assists, 6 rebounds.
Really good all around play.
They're a great defense, and he's a good defender. And really, the only kind of criticism of him is his efficiency's quite a bit lower than a lot of these guys. Really,
he has to take a bigger role on this team that's not really offensive dominant. Because who else? Jalen Duren is going to shoot well because he's not going to shoot as much. He's had a really good season, but he's going to shoot a lot of under in the paint, maybe some turnaround jumpers that are kind of close. There's not really another player to take the offensive role and shoot.
He has a massive burden on a really good team.
Very surprising. I think they're the second in the West, right?
Well, they're in the East.
They're second. The first in the East.
First in the East.
Second in the league.
In the league. Yep, you got it. But so true shooting percentage is similar to like a Şengün. It's actually the lowest of any one of my top 20, 56.5%. Not terrible, but a little bit below league average. But again, I'll give him credit for his defense and setting up everyone else, right? He's averaging almost 10 assists. Really, other than Jokic, I don't know if there's anyone that high. No one in my top 20, at least. So he has a huge offensive role. And again, he's a capable defender on one of the best defenses in the league. If it wasn't for OKC, I think they'd be number 1. So he's my top 10. He's your top 10. He's number 10 too?
Yes.
Okay. So number 9, I have Jalen Brunson.
I have Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, well, all right, don't spoil it yet. You have Donovan Mitchell 9? Okay. I went back and forth, honestly. So the reason I have Brunson, why don't we just compare the two then? We can walk through this. So Brunson's averaging 29, Mitchell's 30.5. Brunson 3 rebounds, Mitchell 4.5. Brunson 6.5 assists, Mitchell 5.5. So relatively close across the board. Mitchell's a much more efficient shooter, 64% true shooting for 60%. He has a bigger scoring role. Brunson, I'll acknowledge, is probably a better defensive player than Mitchell.
They're not both great, but I also think
neither of them are great. The Cavs have struggled this year. Last year they didn't.
My big thing is that they were so good last year, and now they're so not good.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't put that on Mitchell necessarily. I mean, I think Mobley's not done well. Mobley's a guy, for example, who would have been in the top 20 for me at least last year. And I considered him, but ultimately I pushed him out because he's just been disappointing this year. Garland's always hurt. They lost so many supporting guys. Yeah, but they are disappointing. But yeah, I mean, I can certainly see putting Brunson 8 and Mitchell 9. They're close.
Obviously, you have
Mitchell 8.
Yeah, and I have Brunson.
So. Yeah, Brunson. All right, so our top 7 are probably the same. My number 7. Now I went back and forth. I'll tell you between 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah,
ultimately close. I settled on Ant-Man in 7th. Now, you want to tell me you had 7th, or should I talk about Ant-Man a little bit?
We can go back and forth. I'll talk about how I have Steph Curry number 7.
Okay.
I just think he's kind of missed some time, but that's not the big thing. He's averaging amazing numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden State hasn't been amazing. He just got above 500.
Yep.
He has another top 20 player to help him in my list.
Okay.
Within Jimmy Butler, who is the 13th on your list, and in mine 15th, so definitely like a top 15 player to help him. And they still haven't been amazing. He's putting up really good numbers, same as Butler, and they have not horrible supporting cast. So I just think that, once again, team success takes a little bit of a role in here.
Yeah, I mean, you might be convincing me now, but they both score about the same. Rebounds, assists are basically the same. Steph's a little bit more efficient. He's always super efficient. But
Because
Ant-Man's
he's a
right. But Ant-Man's efficient too. He's a deadly 3-point shooter.
And he's a much better defender.
Steph has more of a scoring usage, a bit more of a role offensively. Ant-Man's a better defensive player. I mean, it's tough. It's tight. I admit I went back and forth. You might even be convincing me that Ant-Man should be 6. You don't even have him 6. There's one other guy. What are we talking about? I have Steph 6. Do you have Ant-Man 6, or do you have someone else?
Wemby is my 6.
Okay.
Purely injuries. If he was healthy this season, he'd be like maybe breaking top 4.
So you have Ant-Man 5th.
But yes, I have him.
Yeah, and maybe you're right. I mean, Steph is not as durable. Anthony Edwards is the most durable of these 3, right? Wemby, I have 5th.
Which is fair. Those were very
5, 6, 7 are very hard. I mean, they're very different players. Wemby, I mean, I kind of write off that blood clot thing. That was kind of a freak thing. You're right. This year he's been in and out a little bit. It is a concern. But to me,
streak ended.
Yeah. To me, I mean, he's averaging 28, 14, and 4 on 61% true shooting. So offensively, obviously he's not the offensive player I don't think Steph and Edwards are at this point. But he's not that far off. His true shooting is pretty close. His usage is pretty close. And to me, the thing that pushed it over is he is unquestionably the best defensive player in the NBA. If he could actually play 65 games, he's basically an automatic defensive player of the year.
Yeah, there's no chance.
The question is to get there. And I just think the difference defensively between Wemby and Curry and Edwards is bigger than the difference offensively. And I think
injuries is the only reason.
Okay, I can see that. But Wemby, honestly, going into this, I thought he might be 6 or 7. Maybe it felt a little premature to put him 5. But once I started digging into this, I had to put him 5th. All right, so we'll go into the top 4. I think we'll agree there's, to me at least, the only argument is maybe between 3 and 4. And I went back and forth, and maybe 1 and 2 too. I went back and forth. Ultimately, I actually changed it the last minute. I put Luka 4th.
I put Giannis.
And that's what I had originally.
The reason is because Giannis has been injured. He's a better pure basketball player, especially on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. I think Luka's averaging some ridiculous offensive numbers. Defense is horrible. Obviously, it always is. Mm-hmm. But Giannis is how injured he's been. Not been good for their team. They're horrible right now. The Bucks are atrocious about Giannis. That shows how good he is. But also, if he's not playing time, I don't think he can take the number 3 spot for me if he has not played at all. He had injuries, then he's back, then he had the calf strain, then it's and then with all this stuff happening, it's just, I don't know when, because they don't want to rush him back on the court. I don't know when he's going to play again.
I mean, look, I'll acknowledge he gets hurt a fair amount, but Luka's not exactly an Iron Man. He gets hurt all the time.
But he's not insanely injured this season.
Okay, but I don't know. I'm trying to look at a little bit longer. We're looking at the player, not just this season, right? So I Luka gets hurt a lot, and the thing about Luka, he scores obviously he's leading the league in scoring. Giannis is significantly more efficient. I mean, he is, other than the 2 guys we're going to talk about, he is the best true shooting percentage of any of these guys. I mean, he is just still, even in his early 30s, he is deadly around the basket, and he is miles better defensively than Luka. I think maybe some of the difference in some of these things is I feel like I'm putting maybe more stock in defense, which is harder to measure necessarily in these stats. But I just think the difference, again, kind of like the Wemby argument, the difference defensively between Giannis and Luka is night and day. And obviously, again, Luka's much younger. He's going to get better, while Giannis will continue to probably get worse and maybe get hurt more. So a year from now, this will probably switch. But I think right now, I still think Giannis is a little bit better player than Luka.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume you have Luka 3.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 2 and my number 1, I guess we can talk about both of them. There's obviously 2 guys left. Honestly, for a minute I thought about it, but to me, there wasn't that much debate. I have Jokic 1 and Shea 2. Shea's the reigning MVP. He's probably going to win the MVP again this year, although we'll see. You're looking at me. Do you have Shea 1?
No, obviously.
Okay.
Not. There's not a single. I know it's team success. He's so consistent. Nikola Jokic is the greatest basketball player right now. He is. The stat line I'm going to bring up yesterday, where he had 56.15, 56. I think he had 56, 16, and 15 on and had like 20. He was 21 for 22 or 22 for 23 from the goal line.
And 15 of 21 from the field.
Ridiculous stats. He is the greatest basketball player at the moment, and it's been that. I think voter fatigue is the only thing that'll stop this man from winning so many MVPs, or just maybe just not caring for
think about Jokic too. Like, remember yesterday, they were down 3 starters. They're still missing Christian Brown, they're still missing Aaron Gordon, and now Cam Johnson is out. So I mean, and obviously they have Murray, but he's just willing this team. His on and off splits continue to be insane in terms of how much better they are when he's on the floor. They have the best offense in the league by a big margin, like a historic margin now, well over Houston, and it's all Jokic. Shea is better defensively. The team's better defensively, but Jokic is no slouch defensively himself. Denver's a decent defensive team. He's won a Finals MVP, just like Shea. I mean, listen to this. He's scoring 29 points a game. He's leading the league with 12 rebounds and leading the league with a 7 or 11 assists and shooting 71% true shooting. I've never even heard of some like a high usage guy who can do that. And it's not on dunks and layups. We talked about him a few weeks ago at Player of the Week. I've never seen anything like it. So
yeah,
to me, it was pretty cool.
I know the people are like, Shea's on a better team. I don't care. He's not. He's an amazing basketball player, super consistent. He's a foul baiter, and he's not the greatest NBA player right now.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he's clearly the second best. I mean,
there's no debate. I know there's always the kids who are like, Luka is better than Shea. I love Luka for some reason, but he's not anywhere near.
Shea can bend the defense with, the mid-rangers, and I know people talk about the shoving and the forearm and stuff. And he's durable, right? And he's consistent. Scored 20 points a game in 100 straight games. I can't even imagine something like that. So anyway, those are our top 20. Why don't we quickly just talk about some of our bigger disagreements? I had Jamal Murray 15th. You did not have him. Mm-hmm. I had J-Dub 20th. You had him where?
I had J-Dub
14th. So that's a pretty big difference. Otherwise, I had Jaylen Brown 14th, and you had him in your top 10?
Jaylen Brown? Yeah, I had him 11th.
11th. Okay, so a little bit of difference. Otherwise, I think we're all within
our
1
top
or
10
2.
were very similar because of the Steph, Wemby, and then the Brunson team. They're one away.
Right. If you look at it in tiers, there's Jokic and Shea, there's Giannis and Luka, then there's Wemby, Steph, and Edwards, and then I think there's Mitchell, Brunson, maybe Cade, and then you go on from there. So anyway, I thought it was an interesting kind of exercise for me. Made me think a little bit higher, guys like Maxey and Butler and Cade, maybe a little bit lower about some of these other guys, and Jalen Johnson higher.
Much higher.
Yeah. But I thought it was fun. So I don't know, any final kind of closing thoughts? I thought we'd have more arguments. I guess we spend too much time together. We have kind of the same thoughts. So.
I have to say 2 things. One, I disrespected Jamal Murray.
Oh, okay.
I am not changing my thought. I'm not. Okay. He's an honorable mention. He was like in the he's kind of like 21st for me. I know stats are crazy. Jokic effect. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Honorable mention, but no, you're not making the top 20 yet. Okay. And then 2, sorry Kawhi, but I think Harden is better.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with my Kawhi thing. Maybe they're both out of the top 20. Although I will say, I think you've probably convinced me that Jaylen Brown should move up a little bit, maybe past KD, Maxey, Butler, and I think you've convinced me that Edwards should be above Steph. I stick with Wemby being above both of them.
Okay. We had some disagreements, but not huge. You had him first, and I had him 95th. There's no huge things. Anyway, this was us not arguing as much as I thought we would. And this is Generation Alley-Oop, signing off.